Welcome to the demo of Novena Diabolos, a survival, supernatural horror visual novel. When the synopsis says there are 4 demonesses, I see 5 on my screen right now. Maybe one of them is an anomaly. Who knows? But we're a reporter and we're trying to survive ourselves in an isolated village. For what reason? By a prank or just out of sheer curiosity? We don't know. Let us make a new game. Any previous saved files will be overwritten. Do you want to start over? That's a rather unique mechanic within a visual novel. That would make getting multiple endings an impossibility in one run. Yes, I don't have any previous... Okay, let's see. This game supports autosave. That means your actions are irreversible. Okay, so that kind of puts a spin on things. This game is pure fiction. Its contents have no connection to any existing locations, names, peoples, events, or other things. You belong to your father, the devil, and you want to carry out your father's desires. He was a murderer from the beginning, not holding him to the truth, for there is no truth in him. When he lies, he speaks his native language, for he is a liar and the father of lies. John 8:44. I wish it doesn't, like, skip or something like that. Okay, Thursday, October 25. 8 days until the selection. Okay, I'd rather it not skip and this sound... Sorry, this song... Okay, I need to change this because I don't want it to auto-progress. Thank you very much. Don't want it to auto-progress any given amount of time. I would like to be able to read what I am looking at. So... No clouds in sight mean you'll be able to enjoy a clear sky all throughout the weekend. What? I thought I turned it off. Making this the perfect day to spend some cozy days with your family. Such nice weather. This isn't what I would call a clear sky at all. Do not automatic, please. I don't want automatic. I want to be able to stop this automatic sequence. Unless I've already stopped it by doing that. I hope it was the thing that I did correctly. So let's see, story. Okay, so that's the log. Okay, I've already done that. This isn't what I would call a clear sky at all. It looks foggy. It's almost like we're entering somewhere supernatural / paranormal. There I go mumbling to myself again. I've just complained about everything so much. The whole world is covered by dense fog. It's the complete opposite of what they're saying on the radio. This much fog out of nowhere is something that never happens normally. These mountains are pretty remote, but it's still highly unusual, even for a place like this. Turn left. Given the current atmosphere, the GPS's voice sounds inappropriately happy. Maybe the GPS itself is now possessed by the supernatural. I slowly turn the steering wheel to the left. Oh gosh. A road sign with the name of the place I headed for is faintly visible through the fog. Looks like the GPS is actually doing its job. And I believe we are called Junsun Park. Maybe it sounds Chinese. Maybe a little too overeager for my own good. I step on the gas. The tires turn quickly as I keep driving right into the fog. You shouldn't drive fast in the fog, my man. No good. Only bad things will happen if that is the case. I keep driving along the road, which is almost completely covered in hazy thick fog. I can't make out a single detail of the background scenery, which makes it feel like I'm just driving along the same old road with no end in sight. It's okay, I've got this. Everything's going well so far. In a sudden onset of anxiety, I start nervously tapping the steering wheel with my index finger. You know, man, it's not too late to turn around and not go into this scenario. Everything's fine, right? Next up is our current event shows. And today's guest is, well, surely everyone who knows this program is familiar with him. News Trace's very own PD program director, Seok Hon Kim. Hello? I am PD Seo Hong Kim. I really do struggle with different native pronunciations. Well, not native pronunciations, but different language pronunciations. Like the YouTuber goes by the real name of Sun1. Like that one's okay if you are able to pronounce the name, but the name itself can be misleading towards its pronunciation. Sounds like someone's a little nervous in the spotlight. I know that voice on the radio quite well. It's Seo Hong Kim, who is my senior at the company, a well-recognized PD who strongly opposed my coverage. So it seems like this trip is on purpose. Quite frankly, his voice is the last thing I want to be hearing right now. Excuse me, but he might talk about news that involves me too. So I deliberately turned the frequency back just in time. I'm certain you are very proud to be here, and people will surely forgive your nervousness. Indeed. In fact, News Trace is a program built upon the foundation of trust, isn't that so? As a matter of fact, we ran into some heated controversy quite recently. We did a lot of internal reflecting in regards to that. You're talking about my story. I hit the steering wheel out of sheer frustration. In any case, I'd be lying if I said I am entirely without fault. As an employee of News Trace, he as well as the others suffered the consequences. There's no reason, to lash out at someone for simply doing their job. Right? Because it's always my fault. It is not our fault. News Trace. Without a doubt, the best news program around and among the most trusted throughout. Okay, so the names are Korean. I had always wanted to become a PD at Caesar Journal. When I got the chance to work at News Trace, I kept pursuing my dream. A position as a PD at News Trace, all I could ever have asked for. Yes, it turns out one guy is enough to undermine a news outlet's credibility. And that guy just so happens to be pathetic old me. Do not worry, we're going to be seeing lots of lovely demonesses within this village very soon. Quote marks, by the way. Strange. I feel like I've been through here before. Please don't tell me I'm lost. In 300 meters, turn right. In 300 meters, turn right. No, you went the wrong way, you dumb idiot. Turn back round and then turn left where I told you to turn right initially. Just in time the GPS's voice guides me in the right direction. There's absolutely nobody around, but switching on the turn signal is second nature. You should always do that. Even if you're the only car on the entire road, always use your indicators. It's a good habit. It's like, for example, being at home on your own and locking the toilet door or bathroom door, because it's just second nature to do that. Just lock it. And I'm speaking from experience because my dad likes to keep his door unlocked when he takes a shower, goes to the toilet. Anyways, you were talking about internal trouble? You see, unnecessary stubbornness. It's a vice that can blind people and keep them from seeing things for what they actually are. It's very frustrating to see young promising talents fall victim to that kind of unprofessional behaviour. Getting caught up in ridiculous stories is a waste of manpower and time that could be used for actually productive things. I'll show you that the supernatural exists, and I will get the footage and the dates to prove it. I can't believe it. Would you listen to that guy? Despite trying my best, I can't keep myself from cursing. He's clearly talking about me. Even though he's not saying my name, he is talking about me in a roundabout way. He's talking about what I've discovered so far and trying to dismiss it as absurd. He is doing it openly to convince the public of my mistake. I know exactly what he thinks of my coverage. I really do, honestly. I can understand his point of view. Nobody likes to be talked about like that behind their back. I stare at the radio angrily. No, you should be staring at the road, or in this case, staring at the fog in front of us. I do so even though I know exactly that it won't make him shut up. I'm hoping that by glaring at the radio he will know my presence, and because this is a supernatural story, somehow I believe that me staring into radio would be an indicator to him that I am staring right into his soul, and therefore he will know that we are criticizing him of his actions against us. So he'll just shut up, okay? But it still feels good. I eventually give up and reach for radio. I should listen to some music instead. Well, it sounds like the radio's distorted. What's going on here? The radio's acting up. I'll play around with the frequencies a little. Everything about this place is gloomy. Even the radio's creeping me out. Turn right. What? Surprised by the sudden curve, I take my eyes off the road. You always have to be alert on mountain roads like this, of course, because they are tight and swervy. Things could go awfully wrong in an instant. And suddenly the car is headed straight into the thick fog. Everything is covered by the fog. I can't make out a single thing in front of me. It's like this village is in a different space-time continuum. It's like that Darkrai Pokemon movie where you try to escape, but no matter which way you go, you always end up back at the beginning. Keep going straight. Straight? But that curve just now, I'm pretty sure that's... Everything about this current situation is too unsettling for my taste. I'm nervous. And something about that's bad. We're at the very edge of the road. Phew, jeez. The car comes to a stop just in time. A second later and it would have veered off the road. Had I gone any further, I would have crashed right into the railing. I barely managed to prevent a horrible accident. Keep going straight. Go straight. Go straight. Go straight. Well, this has become cursed. I look at the ruined GPS system in disbelief. The car's engine doesn't look as if it survived this ordeal either. I don't know what the hell just happened, but first things first, I should find a way out of this damn fog. What is going on here? Don't do this to me. Okay then, so this is how it should... Goddamn piece of rubbish car! And everything about this is a mess before we even started. Kim's face pops up in my mind, with a stern look reprining me. I can't let him have the last laugh. Do you know who's gonna have the last laugh? Nobody, that's who. This is a horror game. Nothing goes right in a horror game. I need to stay calm. The car just broke down. Looks like we'll be pushing it out of this paranormal area. Whew. Hopelessness starts to sweep over me as I get out of the car. Looks like we are in a Toyota looking at the shape of the car. I have absolutely no clue where I am because of the disorienting fog, and my only means of transportation just died on me. I was supposed to arrive at the interview location for my case today, but I can forget about things going according to schedule now. It can't be helped. It's out of my control. I decided that the smartest thing to do right now is to contact my boss. I doubt he'll be pleased to hear from me, the guy who didn't listen and ventured out on his own. But I still have to make a report. Let's see now. What? Why isn't the call... Huh? No signal. Oh dear. What the hell is happening to this signal? Am I really that deep in the mountains? Oh dear. Try as I might, I simply can't find a way to establish contact to the outside world. No, this isn't working. Well, I should probably have a look around. If I'm lucky, there's some sort of rest shop or motel nearby. Otherwise, I just start mentally preparing for quite a hike. Guess I'll have to leave the car here. It's probably good that you're leaving it on the outer edges of where the disruption starts happening. I'll start packing up some things from the car that could prove useful. Like a camera, or a microphone, or both actually. Having packed my things, I tighten the straps on my backpack and start walking along the road. I sure hope I'm not too far away from civilization. Oh dear. I wonder how long I've been walking for already. It's hard to tell. What have we got here? We have a village up ahead. Hope Hill Village. This is the supernatural village in question. Or Hop Hill, sorry. Yeah, Hope Hill, Hop Hill. I look around and try to make out things in the fog. The sun is starting to set already, meaning I'll probably have to stay there for the night. At the village, there should be a way to establish contact with the outside world. And maybe I can even score an interview for the case I'm investigating. Following the sign should lead me to the village. I sure hope it's not too far away, but I hope it's not too close by as well. I don't want to find out that I have a car here. What's going on here? Seems like the village is further away than I thought. I stop for a moment and take a look around. This is a very desolate post-apocalyptic scenario. The sun is gone now, and all that's left is the pale blue moonlight reflected off the road. That tree. What is that? What a strange tree. It's like it's missing parts of the branches, or it's forming water driplets of ice. A white cloth is tied to the dying tree, moving slowly in the faint wind. Just looking at it gives me goosebumps for some reason. Nope, too creepy for my taste. I pass the tree while rubbing my arms to ward off the goosebumps. The further I walk away from it, the quieter the eerie sound of the wheezing wind gets. And... oh, hello. Some form of civilization. If there is civilization. Or civilization that has any sanity left. Looks like this is it. I take a good look at the whole village from afar. The entrance to the village is covered by so much ominous fog, it makes me reluctant to keep walking. The buildings look desolate and shabby. Branches and twigs protrude from crumbling walls. Loose windows rattle in the wind at even the slightest breeze. I'm in trouble. Big, big trouble. I mumble to myself, fully aware that I've gotten myself stuck in one of the worst possible places. Places possible. They both make sense. Highly hesitant and with reluctant steps, I enter the village. And what will happen once we enter said village? One day off, that's all. Game progress saved. I suppose that means with everything you have within these times in a game like this with its save system, there are consequences towards either not doing something or choosing something and not being able to go back into it. There are villages that look bad from the outside and turn out to be nice and quaint, but this isn't one of them. The fog throughout the village is so thick it feels like a horror movie. All the place itself is completely desolated, and a religious cult comes here to do their worshipping deeds, and because of the thick fog, it is supposed to obscure all navigation or any hopes of people coming from outside to go inside and then back outside the realm. But although the place is remote and has no cell phone signal, I do spot a few people around. I need to solve the most urgent issue first. Is there any place nearby with a phone I can use? Why would they have a functional phone in this place? I look around and see a villager walking in my direction, so I approach him. Excuse me? Hi. I immediately shut my mouth and regret having said anything. The villager's eyes are empty and randomly wander around, and his body is shockingly skinny and malnourished. His appearance reminds me of the drug addicts you see sometimes in the big cities. The man looks at me and smiles. Passing me by with anxious, stilted steps. And there's a lone figure on the left. Jeez, that's creepy. I wonder what his deal is. I don't have a good feeling about any of this. I look back with uneasiness as I rub my arms to ward off the cold. The man walks off with creaking, frail legs and disappears into the fog. Suddenly I get the feeling that he seems strangely familiar. Weird. I think I've seen him somewhere before. Was he someone that you knew from college, university, from your work? I mutter to myself and start walking again. It's hard to keep track of time in this place. I arrive in front of a building, which has light actually. The sign outside reads, Hope Hill Motel. So there's a motel in this place after all. I mumble something to myself and push open the door. If this is an actual motel, there's got to be a landline phone. Nope. The whole place looks very old-fashioned and rural. A classic country-style motel. It doesn't smell particularly bad and looks clean enough. That's already more than I was expecting. With that thought in mind, I make my way to the counter. The motel owner, who is sitting at the counter, looks at me with a curious expression in his face. Maybe it's because he's not used to seeing customers. I highly doubt many people from the outside pass through here.
한 명이시오? 방 드릴까?
Just you? Need a room for one? Can I, could I use your phone before booking one?
전화?
Phone? Yeah, I have an urgent call to make, but my cell phone isn't working.
아이고 저런.
Oh my.
이거 어쩐다?
How unfortunate. I'm well aware of my bad luck.
여기가 안개가 좀 지독해요.
I'm sure you've noticed the fog that has befallen us.
한번 안개가 끼면 바로 코앞도 겨우 보이고.
I get that. Once the fog is like that, you can barely see your own feet on the ground.
안개가 이 모양이니 대중교통도 이맘땐 여기까지 못 와요.
With a fog like this, no public transportation is running. Nothing will pass through here.
그리고 이상하게 전화도 먹통이 됩디다.
And oddly enough, the phone appears to have stopped working. The motel owner picks up the phone in front of him. And of course, he dials random numbers and tries to make a call, but nothing happens.
봐요. 이 모양이라니까.
Just take a look at it yourself, it's not working. So, there's no way to get into contact with the outside world?
그러게 왜 하필 이럴 때 여기 오셔서?
I don't know, man. Why would you even come here at a time like
진짜
this?
오신 거요?
No, I come in here to form an interview with the local natives. Well, yes. I've got some things I need to take care of nearby. I can't do anything if there's no way to call this in. What are my options here?
에이, 뭐 어쩌겠습니까? 이 살다 보면 운 나쁜 날도 있고 그런 거 아니겠소?
Well, I'm afraid there isn't much I can do. Having bad luck every now and then is the price we pay for living.
걱정은 마셔.
But don't worry.
이 일대가 이런 걸로 유명하니까
fine.
면사무소에서 사유서 같은 거 떼주거든.
This is quite a common occurrence in this area. Receive an official confirmation letter proving you actually got stuck here.
일자리에서 잘리거나 하진 않으실 거요?
You won't get fired from your job. If what he's saying is true, the strange fog seems to be some sort of natural disaster around these parts. I think the word natural is not true. Is that actually a thing? This is the first time I've ever heard of a fog like this in this country. I cast a puzzled look at the motel owner, but he doesn't seem to be paying much attention as he writes down something in the lodging sheet.
그래도 하루 이틀이면 안개가 거칠 거요.
Are you sure about that one? This fog will clear up in a day or two.
안개가 거칠 때까지만 푹 쉬다 가십시오.
Thanks. Please stay here and rest until that happens.
마을 내부는 안개가 그리 심하지 않아서 지내는데 크게 불편할 것도 없을 거고.
There isn't that much within the village itself, so you shouldn't feel too uncomfortable.
안개가 하도 끼어대니까 마을 내부에 슈퍼도 있고.
I thought you said transportation doesn't come around here, so how the hell do you have a supermarket in your
뭐
village?
있을 건 다 있어요.
I'm casting suspicion on both this village and this motel owner. I guess there's nothing I can do about it. Well then, sign me up for a room for one, please.
그럼 여기에 이름이랑 적으시오.
Please write down your name. Please write down your name right here, thanks. 25th of October. I sign my name on the lodging sheet. There you go. Oh, but if there's no signal at all, my card won't work, am I right?
현금 없어요?
You don't have any cash on you? I'm afraid not, just some change.
후불로 달아둘 테니 안개 거치면 내쇼.
Thank you. We'll postpone it for now, and you can pay me once the fog is cleared.
준성 씨라.
Yep.
됐습니다. 여기 키 받으십시오.
Thank you, motel owner.
방은 301호로 가시면 되고.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
뭘 서로 돕고 사는 거지.
But that smile of yours is not convincing. I bow my head to the smiling motel owner, head off to my room. I am not comfortable. Throwing my backpack over my shoulder, I open up the door that leads to my room. Okay. Well, at least the electricity works. My accommodation is relatively neat, which isn't that surprising. The motel is very Spartanic, even by countryside standards. Well, this place isn't too bad. At least the floor is clean. I take off my coat and enter the room. Whoa, what's going on all of a sudden? I suddenly find myself lying on the motel floor. How on earth do we do that? My body feels heavy, yet relaxed. All kinds of thoughts are washing over me. I calm myself down to keep my mind stable and my head clear, and the dizziness fades. What a bad time for this to happen. Events of the past unfold in my mind. I've gotten the scoop of all scoops. A dead body, evidence openly scattered all around it. The perfect scoop in any reporter's eyes. I covered the case faster than anyone else, and drew final conclusions on the case that were widely publicized, and fell flat on my face doing so. What I reported turned out to be more of a novel than actual fact. I was criticized by everyone for spreading misinformation, and my boss, who had vouched for me, had to take responsibility for all of it. That's when things became awkward between us. The incident turned a relationship of admiration and mutual respect sour. I was reprimanded and my pay was cut, and for a while I was in a daze and couldn't quite believe what happened to myself. While everything I had ever worked and crumbled around me. I met the reporter Hozok Cho. You're really gonna let your life be ruined by that one thing? Come on. I bet that's not how you envisioned your dream playing out. Am I right? Or am I right? You're not giving us an option here. His bright and positive attitude made me come back to my senses quickly. He's right. I can fix my mistake by trying again and proving everyone wrong. That was a promise I'd made to myself before jumping into this case. A mass disappearance case. And from the face that you were familiar with before who barely spoke to you, he seemed familiar to you, therefore this could be one of the missing cases within this mass disappearance. My research made me realize there are some common connections and overlapping similarities in these nationwide disappearances. Chasing leads on this case is what ultimately led me here. However, due to the recent developments of special tourism zones, this whole area is very different from what's shown on the GPS map. I got lost and the GPS had trouble keeping up. The fact that there is zero information about this village may be related to that as well. Anyway, this village is part of the area too. As a result, it is automatically part of my investigational research. He said that this fog will clear up in a day or two, but I shouldn't let that time go to waste. Twiddling with my thumbs and doing nothing would be foolish. My time would be better spent researching, looking for leads and clues in this village. Alright, let's see what is going on then. My body feels tense again instead of limp and weak, and I'm back in control. Time to unpack my luggage. I take out the journal I used for notes and put it in my coat pocket. Then I make sure my phone's camera works before plugging the charger into an outlet. Time to take all the files out of the backpack and arrange them in order. And... The Boy's Garden. It's a fairy tale book Hozok Cho gave me as a gift. The gift's purpose is to remind me of my initial commitment. After a short moment, I set the book aside. I open a bottle of water that's been placed in my room, take a sip from it and look around. Not too shabby, really. Neat, tidy and quiet. This room is good enough to serve as a temporary office for interviews and other things. At least for a day or two. I'll just have to accept that things around here won't go quite as smoothly as they would on the outside. Damn it, I wish I could have made that call at least. If I guess. Why is there a signal all of a sudden? But I don't think that came from the outside, but it came from the inside. The sudden ringing of my cell phone takes me by surprise. I thought there was no signal around here. I cast a confused look at my phone. Lots of 666s. Oh gosh. Yep, that's definitely from the inside. Remember that dating thing at the very beginning? Yep, 8 days until the selection. The sender is unknown. Just a bunch of sixes. Satan? I fiddle around with my phone and hold it towards the ceiling, but no matter what I do, I can't get a signal. Is this a prank message that my phone picked up by accident? No way. What's the meaning of this? It could just be a prank, but given the circumstance, it still makes me feel uneasy. I can't stop staring at it. And I drop my phone. Feeling nervous and anxious, I carefully pick it up from the ground. Forest? Another mysterious text message by an unknown sender. I keep fiddling around with my phone for a while, but all of this is far too cryptic for me to make sense of it. I try to read ahead there, which is stupid of me. In the end, I put my phone away and bury my head in the semi-soft pillow. Oh dear, this has got to be some sort of mistake. Time to get some sleep. I shouldn't needlessly worry about things like this. But is sleep going to be possible here? I'm not too sure. 7 days until the selection. I would imagine that this game would, well, the demo would cover all 8 days. Rather unique so far, I'm not gonna lie. Ugh, is it really morning already? Oh, here in a motel at 6:23 AM, regardless it's dark and foggy. I look around with my eyes half open. Even though the sun is up, the room is dark because of the fog. Groggy and far from well rested, I crawl out from under the blanket. I really don't want to get up and would much rather prefer to stay wrapped up in the cozy warm blanket. But the fact that I didn't shower before going to bed yesterday is making it so painfully obvious. First things first, time to take a shower. Is the water here actually clean though? Fortunately for me, and honestly somewhat unexpectedly, the hot water here actually runs well. Considering the village's location, I can't say I was expecting to find a shower like this, rustic as it may be. The hot water gently washes away most of my morning fatigue, unless I pour down my body for a while. Yeah, I think that's an advantage of a hot shower, it wakes you up. Refreshed and energized, I check the time and see that it isn't late as I thought. Looks like I woke up earlier than usual, which makes sense because I fell asleep early too. I take a moment to look outside my window and take in the village scenery. It's hard to consider this village beautiful by any standard. The fog that's spreading throughout it only amplifies my negative impression. Time to take some photos then! It calms my mind, washing away some of yesterday's anxiety. Maybe it's a little too early, but getting a lay of the land in advance can't hurt. I can familiarize myself with the town's geography. It's been a long time since I've last been to such a remote place and staying in a motel. Yeah, remote place is a bit of an understatement, don't you think? There's nothing I can do if I stay cooped up in this room. Time to head out into the unknown. Oh dear. Oh, another vibration. 7 days until the selection. Just as I'm about to leave the room, the phone rings again. Hello, what does it say now? My goodness sakes, why did I predict that? An unknown sender yet again. It's getting harder and harder to dismiss this as a misdirected prank. 1 is accidental, 2 is a reoccurrence, and 3 is a pattern. There's clearly no signal reception, yet these messages somehow managed to get through. I still have no idea what they could mean. What selection is this about anyway? I think you'll find out soon enough. I mumbled to myself and put my phone away. Anonymous messages really do have a way of unnerving me. Indeed they do. Let's see. The motel owner is sitting at the reception counter. Even though it's still so early in the morning, he doesn't strike me as someone who had just gotten up.
아니, 왜 벌써 일어나셨어?
Oh my,
푹 주무시지 않고.
Okay. Oh my, why are you up already? Don't tell me you didn't sleep well. He looks at me with a puzzled expression. I replies I'll leave the key with him. I tend to wake up early. I think I'll have a look around. What about you? Are you an early bird gets worm type too?
이 마을 사람들은 원래 일찍 일어납니다. 대신 1시쯤엔 대부분 집에 돌아가요.
The people here all tend to get up very early. Most of them return back home at around 1 o'clock. 1 o'clock? Sorry, 1 o'clock. We're talking afternoon here.
최근 마을에 중요한 일이 있어서 그런 생활을 하고 있죠.
Something important happening here. led to that being the current way of life.
그러니까 취재하시려면 그 시간대는 피하셔야 할 겁니다.
What? You have to work around that time if you intend to get good coverage for your store? What?
저녁 식사 때까진 보통 건물 안에 들어가 있으니까요.
Somehow this motel owner knows that we're a reporter.
그리고 배고프시면 요 뒤에 삼색 식당이라고 있는데
Thanks,
거기가 맛이 좋아요.
Thank you very much.
1시가 넘어도 문들을 닫거나 하진 않으니 그건 걱정 마시고.
Thanks. Interesting. So the people living here stay inside, but only from 1 o'clock until the evening. Almost sounds like a curfew of sorts. It's a weird way to go about one's day, no doubt, but as an outsider, it doesn't really concern me. Alright then, thank you for the information. With these words, I leave the motel. Or rather, I want to do so, but something is bothering me. It's what the motel owner said. Did I ever? No, you did not. Which is the most disturbing thing. You did not tell him about what you're working on. Did I ever actually bring up what I'm working on during our conversations? If I did, I must have forgotten about it. You didn't. I look back. The motel owner is looking in my direction with an almost grimacing smile. I start to feel really unnerved all of a sudden, and leave the motel with hasty steps. What is going on around here? Despite the stuffy fog, the morning air still feels quite cold. Although the village is shrouded in fog, it's nowhere near as bad as it was on the road yesterday. I can't make out the buildings in the distance, but at least I can see my nearby surroundings. Alright, time for me to take a tour of the village and have a look around. Let's see what we can come across here then. A desolate forest. Taking a look around the village, I end up in the middle of a forest. Looking somewhat lost, I stand in the foggy forest and shake my head to regain some focus. Anybody here? Dried out old trees sway in the wind, which also sends the fallen leaves around my ankles flying. I look back. Lucky for me, I can see the road from here. Judging from that, I don't think I'm deep inside the forest yet. This is weird. How did I end up here? I scratch my head and look around. Oh, what is this? Something feels off about this place. It's the overall atmosphere. It feels strangely oppressive. What's going on here? Why am I so on edge? It's like my whole body is telling me to get as far away from here as possible. But when I look back, it looks exactly the still. I ignore my body's warning signs. As if possessed, I keep walking into the unknown. A highly unpleasant smell lingers in the air. Yuck! The smell is getting stronger. An unpleasant fish-like iron smell is coming from somewhere. I stop walking. What's this? The smell is coming from right in front of me. No way. Don't tell me. I look around. There's no sign of life apart from myself. I don't know if that's encouraging or scares me even more. I take small steps and move my feet slowly. I cover my mouth with my hands, trying my best to deal with the smell. Well then, this does not look very good whatsoever. What is that there on the very stony slab? I turn my head away. Despite my determination, it's hard for me to look at the horrible scenery of savagery right in front of my eyes. Whoa, good God! I keep my mouth closed and breathe in a controlled fashion to calm myself down. I close my eyes and keep them shut tight, then slowly open them again, this time better prepared for what awaits me. Still doesn't look that good. I'm not mistaken. This is real, very much so. It looks like a person. Though I would like to tell myself that it's just a mannequin, I'm afraid the body in front of me is indeed a real one. And it's dead. Yes, that is definitely a person, alright. Or rather, was a person, I guess. I stare at the stiff body's pale skin. The flow of blood has long stopped, never to return again. And there's no warmth from it either. Every ounce of life has been drained from it. It's like a lifeless slab of meat on display in a butcher shop. Ugh. I use my hands to cover my mouth, in order to stop myself from vomiting. Ugh, what the hell? I do my best to shake off the fear and come to my senses. Okay then, time for some rational thinking. I need to check the surroundings. A person is dead. It's a real body, not a doll or a mannequin. And around the body, strange traces remain. Traces that indicate that this is as far from a natural death as it gets. Murder. That's the first word that comes to mind. The initial shock from seeing the body is followed by another feeling, an instinctive fear creeping up from deep within. Maybe the killer is still nearby. Maybe this is something I was never supposed to see. However, this fear gives birth to an idea in my mind. Could this maybe... I recall the mass disappearance case I've been working on. These cases have been popping up nationwide, and though it may seem trivial, they all share a weird commonality. Until now I wasn't quite sure what the connecting factor between the cases could be, but looking at this corpse, a key word that comes to mind: religion. I look at the body again, then my eyes wander over to the strange traces around it. There is a satanic circle. What if this bizarre death is somehow related to the religion in question? Which religion are you talking about? What if religion is what connects these killings and the disappearance cases? With that in mind, I raise myself up with what could only be described as an automatic movement. I'm still very afraid, obviously. However, it is my unquenched thirst for answers, my never-ending curiosity that drives me. Next thing I know, I'm approaching the scene with my phone in hand and the camera ready to go. Are there going to be any disruptions towards the actual crime scene? Strangely enough, I don't feel any sense of disgust while looking at the corpse. The initial shock coming to an end. It might not be a natural reaction, but it's something I've picked up from Seok Hong Kim, my senior. When a PD gets wind of an incident, he knows instinctively how relevant it really is. Yeah, I guess that's true. What if you combine the courses of profession of forensic and reporting? Like you have the forensic information to be able to determine the cause of death and the quite possibly time of death as well, and also rough indicators like how many hours they might have died long ago, the cause of death as to what caused their death in the first place. I don't know if I've said that more than once now, but just thinking about that, like that would be a very curious but also very specific path to go on in life, a combined profession of forensicness and reporting or journalism. It doesn't matter if my efforts are in vain. This whole thing in itself is a huge scoop that will change my life. Okay, I should take a picture of anything that might be important. I should make a record of the most obvious things first. Let's see, the light from my phone illuminates the forest. Now then, I should take a look around. I take my gloves out of my pocket and step carefully onto the scene. I should try moving around the edges to avoid getting my footsteps everywhere. Let's see. Click on the screen to get a clue. Okay. Let's see. There's the let's look in the bag. I found a note next to a backpack. What is this? A suicide note. A note was left behind. I doubt that this is suicide, because the person in question wouldn't be able to write it if they are in this state. What if the person who staged this peculiar death is actually the victim? But could this really have been suicide? I doubt it's suicide. I don't know. I give up trying to figure that out and read the note. The scribbles on the suicide note are pretty difficult to read. As I scan the unintelligible text, a word jumps out at me. The deceased was obsessed with something and manipulated it. This could be an important clue. I made a note of that. Alright, should I keep looking around? Yes, you should. A strange picture frame catches my eye. It could be evidence, so I should take a careful look at it. However, no matter how closely I look at it, I can't find any clues. After a moment, I shake my head. Creepy. What is that thing? Looks like a... I don't know, is it a bird? Yeah, mangled animal carcasses are laying on the stone altar, sorry. Bloody and rigid. There are not particular markings on there. Was it really necessary to have them here? I finished my examining on them. Alright, should I keep looking around? Yes. Let's see. I've never seen such strange symbols before. What the hell is this? Is this a ritual? Trembling, record the shape of the symbols as detailed as possible. We've got only 2 more things to look out for. Or maybe the fact that it's just showing us how many things there are anyways. The note there. There's a note on the side of a stone altar. What is this? I stare at the note. But the writing's so scribbled I can't make out the words. Can't read this. I give it a try to read it. Right. Any other little bits of detail that I could see or point out? Anything at all, no matter how minor it is. Top left, nothing. I'm just trying to find out the stuff that's not as obvious, like the sign by the dude or the dude itself. Or just the personnel in question. Just trying to find anything that is not... What the hell? Underneath. Some more notes are scattered across the ground. I search for par, but I can't find any important clues. I get up slowly. Anything else of note? Yeah, those ones are actually quite hard to find, actually, beneath him. Like miscellaneous red herrings or something like that. Anything else that is... Oh, hello. I put down the picture. The picture is blurry and scratched, so I can't confirm what's on it. I look at the picture a little longer before putting it down. Right. Any other little things? Like that one near the word settings on the bottom middle of the screen. That was another one that was hard to see. Like sometimes you gotta look very closely. Is it an interactable? Because I like the fact that there's an interaction within this game actually. It provides you with some kind of interaction. Okay. Now the body itself. Ugh. I take a sharp breath as I lay eyes on the body. The victim was deeply wounded. Even the bones are exposed, but the blood hasn't completely dried yet as it's slowly leaking out. Such a deep wound. This could be an important clue. After examining the body a little while longer, I finished taking notes. Alright, should I keep looking around? Yes, please. I wonder what would happen if our bar goes full. A surface with strange characters written all over it. But no matter how closely I look at it, I can't figure out what language it is. Some sort of satanic language. Maybe it's a drawing instead of a text. I have no idea. I give up trying to interpret it and write down the letters. Alright, should I keep looking around? Okay, there should be enough evidence. Trying to calm my racing heart, I look through the photos on my phone. Browsing through all these gruesome pictures on my phone feels weird. It's a weird feeling knowing that these pictures might lead to the biggest scoop of my life. I put some distance between me and the scene. I've stayed strong up until now, but I'm starting to feel nauseous. I should get out of here before it all becomes too much to handle. With my phone still in hand, I turn around. I abruptly come to a halt. Oh crap, there's someone behind me. Who is it? Don't tell me the culprit's still... I concentrate really hard. I can hear something that wasn't there before. Damn it. I can't just keep standing here like this. It's not just me who's standing still, the person behind me doesn't appear to be moving either. After gathering enough determination, I slowly turn around. Whoa, hi. Having turned around, my eyes meet those of a woman. She's dressed casually and looks at me with a blank expression. Are you one of the demonesses of the village? Sense nothing about her screams cruel murderer. Yep. Not a cruel murderer at all. I relax a bit. Hey there. Ah. You. Hold on a sec. What was that all about? I stare at her. Slowly but surely I realise what this must look like. A horrifyingly brutal murder scene. Me standing right in the middle of it. A woman staring at me in disbelief. So, okay. Just wait a second. Wait, no. This isn't what you think it is.
그러지 마.
Thanks.
너 누구야?
Who am I?
저 뒤에 시체는 뭐고?
I don't know why there's a body there. Why don't you explain something then? Crap, this isn't what it looks like. Please put that down.
다가오지 말라고!
Thanks. Why are you using that electric shocker? Her electric shocker shines bright blue because of the sparks. I stop and raise both of my hands. That woman. What is it with her? She really doesn't want to listen to reason. I don't think she wants to talk. Look at her. The woman carrying the electric shocker has sharp facial features and short hair. Though her obvious appearance is delicate, she exudes an aura that shows strength. She seems strong and confident by nature, not just because she's pointing the electric shocker right at me. Why? Talk to her.
당신 뭐 하는 사람이죠?
What are you doing here? As she asks me, her expression softens a little. Well, I'm a PD, an investigative reporter, and I'm a little bit more relaxed now. I let out a weak sigh and reach inside my pocket. I should have a business card here somewhere.
무슨 수작이야!
I'm not pulling any kind of stunt, you fool. Yeah, what are you doing? Nah, that's bad. Although it feels nice early, but shock coursing from my whole body slowly fades away. I'm curled up on the floor and even forgot to breathe for a second, so I get back up. I still feel terrible. A tingling sensation served me as a harsh reminder of what happened. I topple over again. I really thought I was going to die there for a moment. What the hell are you doing? Are you nuts, lady?
명함?
Yes, a business card. Yes, obviously. Do you think I was going to go for a gun?
MBS 시사부 PD
Yes.
준성? 진짜 PD였어요?
Yep, I am. PD, yes. For goodness sakes. Oh, PD, yes. That's what it says. Do I need to clarify that anymore? Like I clearly told you in the first place.
미안해요.
Oh, goodness sakes. It's like she has some kind of multiple personality disorder. One that sends her to a yandere shocking spree, and another one that's a bit more composed.
하지만 그렇게 갑자기 품에 손을 넣고 다가오면 누구라도 저처럼 행동했을 거예요.
No, that would not be the case, okay, demoness?
꺼내려던 게 흉기일 수도 있잖아요.
Look, I've got a phone. I'm taking pictures. Why the hell would someone like that have a gun with them? You almost roasted me alive a moment ago. Now you're sorry about that?
그 정도로 죽진 않아요. 제안만 하려던 거였어요.
Oh yeah, subduing. And how the hell do you have that kind of thing around here anyways? Her bluntly straightforward attitude makes me forget how angry I am. It's not that the anger is actually gone, but I'm dumbfounded at her courteous response. I'm close to say something else, but then I just sigh and brush off some of the dirt on my clothes, courtesy of twitching around on the ground while being electrocuted. I'm pretty peed off and would like to scream, but I keep it bottled up inside. She's too trigger happy for that.
그런데 시사저널 PD가 사건 현장에서 뭘 하는 거예요?
What's a PD like you doing at a crime scene? Well, I'm doing an investigation regarding a mass disappearance. And this case, or this place, looks like the most obvious and likely place where such a mass disappearance would commonly occur. What do you think an investigative reporter could possibly be doing at a crime scene?
뭐 취재 좋죠.
Yes.
그런데 경찰에 신고는 하고 이러고 있는 거예요?
Well, I wish, but you know what happens when there's no signal, or where isolated society becomes adopted to a particular kind of thinking and ideology and stuff like that. It separates itself from the rest of the world, so what happens there is just not cool at all. So, what I imagine is a hot fuzz scenario. If you watch that movie, if you haven't watched that movie, I recommend watching it. It's a fantastic comedy. But what this place is like is kind of like a hot fuzz scenario where it's isolated away from the rest of society, so it comes up with its own kind of laws and rules. So in this case, I don't think the police at all would have any kind of influence behind what happens here, because they either can't be bothered or they want this kind of thing to happen. I don't even know what your name is.
경찰보다 먼저 현장에 들어와서 뭘 하시는 건데요?
Well, that's
현장 도전! 기본 아니에요, 기본?
really basic protocol.
방송국 양반들이란.
Oh, I'm a vulture now, coming from a person who just electrocuted me. I mean, I was just about to call it in, you see. But for a short moment right there, I forgot something very important. I remember being told that for whatever reason, as long as it's foggy, there's no signal, no communication network whatsoever. I look at her. She looks at my cell phone, and I can tell what she's thinking the same thing. Tell me, have you seen a police station in this town?
아니요.
Exactly. I scratched my head and put my phone away. So my assumption about the police being different here is incorrect, because there's no police.
여기서 좀 나가죠.
Okay, why? What is your motive? Yeah. I followed behind her as she leads away. I can't help but wonder, what the hell is she doing alone in a place like this anyway? That's what I want to know. Now that we're a fair distance away, she exhales loudly as if glad to breathe fresh air again. Her expression is still dark, but it doesn't seem to be because of fear from having seen a corpse. It's something else. It's unusual, like that she's just randomly carrying around a powerful electric shocker.
그래, 박준성 PD님이라고 하셨죠?
Yes, that is me, right? What is your name? What do you do? Before I can finish answering my question, she pulls out her business card and presents it to me. I try to think of something to say, but instead I accept the card without a word. Industry-induced instinct, I guess. You are Hannah Sehi? Lawyer? I can't help but throw her another dumbfounded look. This is totally unexpected. She's only around my age. I can't believe she's a lawyer.
이만하면 각자 소개는 한 것 같고.
What is going on here? I have no idea what the hell is going on here. Like, why would she just randomly watch a stranger who happens to be a reporter take evidence of what's happening and then electrocute us, because she'll probably think that I'm trying to kill her, which is not the case, and then do this? Like, it just doesn't add up. Like, this game notes that there are 4 demonesses, but there are 5 portraits of different people, which doesn't add up.
그래서 저 사건 현장 어떻게 된 거예요?
That's what I want to know. I don't know. Everything was like that already when I stumbled upon it.
이것저것 조사하시던데 별다른 건 발견 못했고요.
Are you suddenly interested in my work? I can only guess, but in my experience, symbolic imagery like that usually means one of 2 things. Either religious killing or religious suicide.
종교 문제라고 생각하시는 건가요?
Most likely. Guess so. That's obviously what it looks like, but it could be double-crossed.
단정하진 마시고요.
Hey, you want us to provide you details. Now we're giving you details, you're starting to be a bully to us. I shrugged my shoulders in an attempt not to let her drag down my ego. She's silent for a moment. As I look at Hannah, my curiosity is piqued. What's a young lawyer like her doing in a place like this? However, this isn't the right moment to inquire about personal stuff. And I choose to wait for her to say something again.
그럼 준성 씨는 외부와 연락할 방법 좀 찾아봐요.
Yes.
안개 하나 가지고 외부와의 연락이 전부 끊기는 건 말이 안 되잖아요.
Why do you think it wouldn't make any sense? Of course, those who have control over this fog wouldn't want us to contact the outside world. True, and what about
전
you?
따로 조사할 게 있어서요.
Like?
그럼 이만 마을에서 뵙죠.
Yes, see you never. What? Her sudden farewell takes me by surprise, and before I can reply, she just walks away. After walking a few steps, Hannah pauses.
아, 아까처럼 현장 훼손하지 말아요.
I did not damage the crime scene, okay? I'm at a loss for words. She's really stubborn. I stare at her. Once she disappeared, I take another look at her business card. Hannah Sahi. A lawyer, huh? I only just met her, but I can already tell what kind of a person she is from her quick wits, razor-sharp way of speaking to her decisive actions. Let me guess. Young, ambitious, arrogant, and elitist? I shove her card into my pocket, then head back to the scene. I don't want to return to the nasty murder scene, but it seems that in my uproar I must have dropped my notebook. I just need to get it and then get the hell out of there. Cool beans. Right. Okay. And another person stumbles upon us. Okay, folks, we're going to end things off here for the moment for this demo. Hopefully you're enjoying it as well as I am, folks, and if you would like to see another episode on this demo, then please let me know down in the comment section below. But I don't think there will be too much left of it, considering the fact that a demo only goes in a very little way of the game, and if this game only has 8 days to it, then obviously there won't be a huge amount in terms of, well, the game itself. Like the occult and stuff like that. I don't know where I was going with this conversation, but if you'd like to see more, folks, then please let me know down in the comment section below. But with demos nowadays, I only hope to do only one episode covering a bit of it, and if there's any more, then I'll leave you to your imaginations in order to know what is going on here at this point in time. And for goodness sakes, this curious one is also one of the demonesses. Well, we've met at least one or even just two, or even both of them at the moment. Both of the possible ones which we've only acquainted with so far. But I'll most likely do a second episode on this game because it is really intriguing. Really intriguing as to what kind of occultic nature is going on here, and whether or not these demonesses will allow me to escape with this new coverage and this data, providing that it could uncover what uncertainties that there may be of the world itself inside this little world in this world. Thank you so much for watching. See you all in the next time of Novena something. Novena Diabolos. Thank you so much for watching. Take care of yourselves.